Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday night connection. We know that it's the long weekend, so we share it on Tuesday. But obviously, we want to connect this week to the gifts that are available. Like we learned last week, we learned more about the new moon, the opportunity in this month. What do we want to awaken? What do we want to see? What do we want to connect? And what do we want to disconnect from? Because sometimes things that causing pain or suffering to someone is when they don't want to let go of something. Sometimes it's about they try to acquire something. So sometimes it's not just about I need that to feel good. Sometimes get rid of this will make me feel good. Get rid of that. Sometimes so most of the time we have to be sensitive on a weekly basis. What do I need to remove? What do I need to add? What do I need to remove? What do I need to add? That's most of the time. Again, not to remove for the sake of removing, but clearing. Clearing my vessel, clearing my consciousness so new can come. What happened? Most of us are living life on the consciousness of yesterday. Today, whatever, I'm in the inertia, I'm in the flow of what happened last week. Yesterday I had revelation, I'm still in the flow of that. If I don't wake up in the morning every single day and renewed, not based on yesterday, from that particular merit, from that particular day, I'm completely an old energy, right? What do I mean by that? Yesterday is an old news, right? Your energy, what you were awakened, what needed to be learned yesterday, what needed to be understood yesterday, that's what's for yesterday. What needs to be learned, what needs to be understood, what needs to be awakened today is a complete different thing. But why it's not or doesn't seem this way? Because we really, most of us are not emptying ourselves every day. And wake up in the morning and feel ourselves, see our vessel as empty, looking to be filled with way more than was yesterday. It has to be a daily meditation at night and as you wake up in the morning. That should be our week. Otherwise, again, everything become old. What do you mean old? It's an old news, right? Even us, our energy is old energy. We can't get excited of anything, right? I shared earlier in a different class, what do we call a productive day? What do I call productive day? A day that had many, many things going on. Many, many things that I've done. That's been productive, right? And a day that I didn't do much, a day that I hadn't so much study, I didn't have so much of actions or movement, mostly stationary, mostly lazy, not a productive day. Our, indication for a production or not, or a day with revelation or not, is based on a very fake or wrong approach to life. So, in general, it's a consciousness we should have every single day and every single night, right? And again, I repeat it again. Night, I'm emptying myself from all the grudges, from all the limitations, from all the lacks that wasn't fulfilled, from all the disappointment and all of that. Waking up fresh with greater and greater desire to be filled. This week, we want to ask ourselves a few questions. But one that this week is helping a lot is with our fundamental behavior or life. Meaning it's a fundamental rule or basis of who we are. We know that we all have a driving force. We're driven by different things. Each one of us driven, or sometimes you see someone is not as ambitious or had no drive, right? You go, oh, that person have no drive. First of all, it's not true, because specific places or environment or moments awaken a driving force from individual that they didn't know that they have it. So again, most of us waiting until we'll be in a certain time, in a certain place, in a certain environment, then I will be driving it. But if it's not, I don't have a drive. Let's understand a little bit more about it. Second question is about confusion. Getting confused. Now, if you find yourself every day, I'm a little bit confused about that. I'm a little bit confused about what you said, Benjamin. I'm a little bit confused about what they asked me to do. Many of us, most of the day, I wouldn't say most of the day, but majority of our life, I would say there's a lot of that exists around confusion. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. Why it's so hard? Why everything is so confusing, right? Shouldn't it be like clear? Shouldn't we come to this world with a chip of clarity? That I will know exactly why it should be so complicated. Why it should be so confusing. Why can't the human being could create or could be born already know exactly what needs to be done every single moment? Why I need to listen to this, or is that true? This is true. Even you, Benjamin, are you true? Obviously, what we learn in a Kabbalistic level, don't believe anything you listen to anybody, even including myself. Don't believe me. Check it out. See where it strikes a chord. See where it touches you. See if it works for you. Most of us get confused. Should I believe that? Should I do what he said? Should I do what she said? Do I become vegan or I eat meat? Should I eat? Dairy is good for you, or eggs making cholesterol? What is it? Is fat is good for you, or is better for you? Confusing, right? From all the type of new ways of thinking, from all the type of back in the time, you find yourself sometime, if different ages speaking differently, but back in the time we went to this grocery store, there was just the milk and bread. Now I have 5,000. Get me confused. I'm trying to get a milk in the store. I have to call my wife. Which one? There's the blue, light blue, there's green, what is it? 2%, 1%, 3%, what's better? We find ourselves being confused a lot. And eventually, most of us, I don't have time for this, just going to make a decision and that's it. We get to that place also. But what is that force that get us confused? This week, that force is there to control us, to allow us to be, more with clarity. What does it mean? That force, right? We have to face that force that it's within each one of us. It's not an external force of those demons and all kind of stories that trying to control us. Yes, I understand. We can talk this way. But that force in our world, in our time, is resting, is a sleeper within each and every one of us. And can waking up every second and cause confusion. discomfort, right? I'm not clear. Not just that, not that I want you to just recognize that force within you, also recognize how that force is being used by us to spread confusion like a plague, like a disease, like a virus. It's like when you come across someone that all of a sudden they say something or they told you something, got you so confused, right? We also want to be protected by those viruses. I don't want to bring to my life someone that comes to my house, sitting there eating dinner, and then speaking in a way that gets everybody confused, right? Infecting everybody. Same thing us. We don't want to be that force who create confusion to many people. We don't want to spread a virus like that. We want to be controlling that force of confusion. That's this week. Now again, it's very clear when you're speaking about confusion, because one can be very clear to see that that person is confused. But the person is confused, and very hard for him to be clear. Now let's understand a little bit more, because when we look in outside, look at different people. People that you think, that most of us think, that don't have much confusion, you consider them, we can consider them maybe the religious people. They have no confusion, they know God, they know this, they know what to do, they know the rules, right? Religion, or spiritual people that know, they know their practice, they do what they're doing. No, not much look like confusion. It can be all the other way around. You see those cult people, right? No confusion, all doing exactly what they told you. Lunatics, right? No confusion. Very clear about their craziness. Or you can call them believers. They don't have any confusion, right? They believe, For example, you talk to young people who want to get married. Many people want just to be how do you call it? Arranged marriage, right? At some point, I got confused. I'm dating this, I'm dating that, I'm going to this state, I'm going to that date, swipe right, swipe left, swipe everywhere. And I just get more and more confused, right? Where is that force come from? And if you tell somebody that you're confused, or it's not right to say I'm confused, right? It's not really exciting to hear someone confused. Or it's not really smart to be confused, right? Or it seems like lower. We all in the same place, my dear. We think that it's okay every single day to be confused. And again, what we don't know, that every day you're spending time getting confused, or allow other to confuse you, right? Meaning, how do I allow people? Because I allow anyone, anything, to tell me whatever they want, and to bombard me with whatever they think it is I should do. In truth, there is one universal truth. It's universal truth. And until humanity, humans, people, won't understand and live their life by that universal truth, that force of confusion will always have a holding on humanity. If humanity won't achieve, again, but I'd like to be this and I like to be that. No. We have to understand the what we call the spiritual world have no barriers, have no fragmentation. It's only in this physical world. What type of religion, what type of gender, what type of what type of system you're using, what type of electricity you have. You are 210, I'm 110, whatever it is. No, the spiritual dimension have nothing of that. It's all clear. And there are very clear universal laws that works all the time, like no one here will argue with gravity. No one. No one even will dare to say no, yes, let's argue. What do you mean? It's very clear. Just let's take that law. And again, I'm just giving you the most obvious, right? But there are, I cannot even tell you how many laws, universal spiritual laws. Not, again, it's not what we call a must for everybody. It's not something that I have to know all of them and then. These are laws that works whether you want it or not. This spiritual law in this world that can enlighten someone and condemn someone. That's the force, right? But we know that if we can, at least today, and again throughout those classes that we share, if you go back and listen to other classes, we shared many different laws that the Kabbalists, opened the gate for us to understand how they work, right? Because we know that these universal laws, it's a built-in. It's a built-in. You not acquire them by something. It's not someone who give you them. It's something I need to activate within me. Okay, it's a built-in. So I'm going to give you today a couple of them, so we can start working with them. So we can have a direction which is no confusion, clarity, and absolute. Most of us are not absolute. Most of us are almost 90% or 50%, 60%. What is the first force that I want to activate? Right? It's what we call the force of delay. Delay. It's something that each one of us, has to activate. Don't allow anything from the external world to put you in suspense. You put every response in suspense. You delay it. It doesn't mean that you're not going to. You just put it in an incubator. Imagine you have a thought, an idea. Idea came to you. Wow, let me call my bank manager, get a loan. Let me call my developer. Hey, make it happen right away. Obviously, it's great and it can be manifest. But if I'll wait, I'll see something else that needs to be evolved. Because when you get a download in this world, when you get a flash into your mind, it's just a flash. It's just a spark. It's just an initial button of a download. You need to allow it to download all the way down. For example, when you see a tip of an iceberg, right? We all know it's going all the way down. But because I got it, and wow, call somebody. Let them know how smart I am. Let them know how great I am. Do this and do that, and we're coming up with a very shallow reality this way. Every thought, every idea, every desire, it doesn't mean that you don't need to do that and you won't do it. But you put it in an incubator. That's what it is. You get a text. Wait a second. Yeah, I should answer yes, I should answer, oh, they don't call me. They don't. Put it in suspense. Put it in an incubator. Let's see. What type? All of a sudden you're going to realize you don't even need to be responding. That force is something that you need to start, like the light bulb, have the filament, right? That force of like the electricity, Con Edison say, take as much as you want. And the light bulb says, yes, I want. But the force that delay that says, you know what, I can only handle 60 watts. But if I don't know how to build my mechanism, because most of us, sometimes from an idea, we're getting too high and nothing happened with that. Sometimes with a great conversation, we're getting too high and we don't do anything about it. Sometimes with a great, a date that we have with someone, we think we need to get married. No, it was just for that moment, but I wouldn't know because I fell into it. That was supposed to be a meeting who leads me to another meeting. But I grabbed one and said, oh, wow, this is amazing. That I need to marry that. If I won't be able to activate that force, confusion, it's your best friend. Should I date that guy? Should I date this girl? Should I marry? What should I do? What type? Who am I? Always going to be there. We know, that force, it's the force that allow you to access the momentum. And momentum is all what needed in life, right? Because that force, called force of delay, it's not somewhere there. It's somewhere here inside of you. That force, if you put everything that comes to you in an incubator to be developed, to be rethinking, to be letting go and come back to you, that by itself bring clarity. But I need to decide now. No. You're not a robot. You're not supposed to be guided in a robotic way, right? You're supposed to bring clarity to yourself and make your own decisions. You're supposed to get to clarity that you become an absolute individual, not confused by anything, right? That force bring clarity than any other tool or tricks that you've been presented in this world. With a certain drug, with a certain dripping, with a certain tripping, with a certain... that's all great. That's what people call shortcut. Okay, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know what remain after you gain some clarity for the moment or enlightenment from the moment. Without that force, building force that is being developed, that you create that what we call incubator inside of you, that everything is being developed and come out right, come out with clarity, come out in the right time, come out in the right moment, come out to the world with the right influence, cannot happen if you don't work on that force that exists within you, that give clarity and eradicate confusion. We learn that this world is governed and organized with so many laws. So many laws, and again, even physical laws that you know, right? But this world is really an organization of so many laws that meant to get me. What did they meant to get me? Directly to become an unlimited being, an unlimited human. Not, a diversion or a version of myself. The complete unlimited being. Like when you're using chemistry or physics, you speak to any scientist, any engineer, they tell you with such clarity, such certainty, such understanding, not even argument. If I connect plus to the minus what will happen? They tell you it's gonna burn. It's gonna be fire. What? Why can't I do that? Or take magnet, flip them, the other way around against each other. No matter what you're gonna do, you can connect them. This is a law, right? Gravity and many others. Chemistry. No, it has to be so precise to the inches, to the moment, to the sizes. And if it doesn't, it's not going to do the work. And you know what? You can argue day and night. Doesn't matter. Until you're not achieving perfection in these physical laws, it's not going to work. Right? You want to create a hydrogen fuel. You need the water, you need the sunlight, you need, right? You need the solar energy, you need exact measure. It's so, yesterday I was talking to somebody, showed me exactly how to make it. It was like, wow, it's so precise, anyone can make it. It's cost, right? And obviously, but it's so clear that it's right there for anyone to enjoy. If you want to make a hydrogen fuel, yeah, you can go and make it. Again, only when we come down to the spiritual world, people start having confusion. Why? Let's understand that. Why is that somehow feel more confusing? The spiritual part, it's a part that we, again, you can agree, you can disagree. But the spiritual world, these forces that we're talking about, force of delay, force of, share with you different forces right now. If I'm not in sync with those forces within me, you cannot activate them no matter what you do, no matter who's your friends, no matter what your background, your religion, your desire, doesn't matter. If you're not in sync with these forces, it won't give you clarity. What is clarity? For example, is when I'm in sync. Let's say, for example, I share with you one force called the force to delay or to create an incubator, to allow something to evolve, to see the clarity. That force, right? I need to activate, I need to be in sync with that force, and that force clearing many, many different, what we call curtains or layers that blocking me before. But if I'm in sync, it's just an amazing way of living life. One of our biggest force that I want to speak about, it's our desire. It's our love. The force of our desire. The force that our drive. It's the force of our love. It's our passion, right? And that passion, right, it's a driving force. So first of all, I would like you to ask yourself this week, like any other week you can ask yourself, but specifically when that week, that cosmically is available for us to harness, what drives you? What is your driving force? Pause. Think. Go deeper a little bit. What is it? What is driving you? What is your driving? What moves you? What gets you out of bed? I need to pay bills. Think about it. What gets me out of bed? I need to pay bills. I have to pay insurance. I have to pay for kids' school. I have to think about what drives you. I have to show up because I have employees that I open a business and I have employees. I have to show up. I have to tell them what to do. What's driving you? Think about it. Most people don't connect to it every single day. Once in a while, or sometime from somehow, but from the environment. I don't know, it seems like everybody's doing it, so I'm supposed to do it, right? Or it seems like everybody's getting married, so I think that's my driving force. I need to get married because that's what they did, right? And apparently, there's another, all kind of driving force that come from an environmental push. What do you want? What is your force? What is your driving force? That is in your desire. Now, let's understand or differentiate very simple. Driving force, that it's of a desire for or come from or had or have physical limitation. Any driving force that have physical limitation will always be a vessel for confusion in our life. Think about it. Any driving force that one adapt to themselves, you know what? That's going to be my driving force. That's going to be my, whatever it is that you're choosing or you connected to, and has physical limitation, right? It will be a vessel to draw more confusion into your life. Again, we understand when humans don't have that affinity to their unlimited driving force, they will be used as a force of confusion to this world and to their life. One need to achieve a necessity. It's important. It's the most important part. Is to achieve an activation to your unlimited forces, unlimited driving force. Again, it's very simple when you look at what drive you. Is it a family? Still limited. Is it money? Still limited. Is it some kind of honor? Still limited. Is it some kind of legacy? Still limited. Is it some kind of like stability? Still limited. Is it some kind of sense of security? Still limited. Think about it. Those forces, people measuring them in the physical world, and they can only provide you some physical clarity. Maybe, not so sure. They're always using as a force of confusion. But we understand that I have to increase my desire to be driven from an unlimited force. Unlimited force. I hope that's clear, because this is the fundamental. If a person doesn't have, like for example, when you count for, let's say you count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, you got to 23, 24, and someone comes and says, what about 60? Is it 25 or 26? All of a sudden, no, don't confuse me, right? Because you had the clarity on your path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Stop. Don't confuse me. Stop. Don't, right? Most of us are there. And that is happening all day long. We're trying to go with blinders. No, I don't want to get confused. I want to know exactly. When you drive, right? Focus on the road. Am I missing the road? Don't get me confused. Or don't make noise, people. Or lower the music. Or I need to stay focused. I don't want to get confused. A person that doesn't have rules, universal, unlimited laws, right? You look at gravity. It's unlimited. It works in no limitation of the individual or the thing that you throw to the air. Eventually everything goes down, being pulled down. We know that's unlimited, regardless of who you are. Universal laws has to be like that. Spiritual laws are like that, like I gave you the first idea of the delay force. It exists within you. It's unlimited. It can bring anything to your life if you know how to use it, if you know how to gain clarity with that. As I said before, another very important force is our driving force, which connected to our desire. So you have to ask yourself, what drives you? If your driving force is a physical vessel, this is what I want to get filled, that's what you're going to get filled, which is small, limited. And in order to get that filled, it's bring a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. Why? Because technically we cannot hold a lot in this world. So eventually you have so much, you can't enjoy it, you can't relate to it, right, anymore, right? Look at the stuff that you kept from a teenager, right? You open it, you open the old box or your old clothes and you realize, oh, I can't relate to this, to those books that I read when I was 16. Sometime yes, sometime no. Or I can't relate to the clothing or whatever it is that I have kept from, right? So we have many things. We have houses, we have cars. Sometimes we lose touch with them. It just seems like garbage. I just want to get rid of it. Why? Because we don't have the vessel in the limited connection, limited forces, limited driving force will never be filled. My vessel, always confusion. So, the next step is to activate your unlimited force, your unlimited driving force. That's very much on you. It's not something that I can tell you, it's not something I can give you, right? But I would like to activate my unlimited driving force so my life will be guided by absolute and clarity. Absolute, being an absolute individual. That's different. Why? Because you should know, when the first drop of confusion comes in, sink in, enter to your system, the next step that comes, it's doubt. Confusion, doubt. Game over. That's how it works. Meaning, why people say, oh, I'm doubting this or I'm doubting that. Why do you have doubt? Because you want it so much. Because there is some connection to you so much. You wouldn't have doubt about something that you don't want. You have clarity, right? I have clarity, I don't want to eat this. I have clarity, I don't want to marry that individual. I have clarity, right? But if I want something, all of a sudden I'm bringing what? Doubts. How this doubt comes in? Because what I want is of a limited nature. It doesn't activate that force. It gives confusion. And then I'm doubting what I want. If I have clarity about my forces, about how do I use my desire, then it's very clear. Why? Because first of all, we know that when you are driven by small desires, I need this today, I want that today, I want a little bit of this, I hope today somebody will see how good I am and give me some honor, I hope someone will tap on my shoulder and says, wow, you did good today, right? It's something that is important for us to remember. Because if your driving force of today is coming from a limited force, you're going to draw confusion, and the next step is doubt, and it's done. Why? Because anything that you really desired, and it's not clear for you that you desire that to an unlimited influence, I did. Why do I want to drink my coffee today? So I'll be influencing all of you who listen in a greater way. Not for me, I need it because that's what makes me happy and now I can share. Everything I'm doing is where there is an unlimited influence within that desire. That's my driving force. And that, if no force of confusion can connect to it, it's not in sync with the force of confusion. It's the other way around. It's dismantleize all the force of confusions and doubt and give me all the blessings that available, all the desire or required minerals and energy and sources that exist within the flip side of confusion and doubt. Because it's a lot of power, but it can be used for our own advantage when we activate our unlimited driving force, where we see that we can influence way more than what we think. That the capacity that I have to influence, wow, I see no end to it. That is my operation system. That is my driving force. Yeah, I want just one person, two people. Don't limit your influence. Again, when a person works with the physical desires, it's the same thing as electricity or physical laws. It's exactly. The light bulb says, just give me 20, I cannot do more than that, right? And think I'm okay, let me be so dimmed, right? I can't have more. And when it's burned out, I can't have. That's it, it's done. We don't want to be governed by that, right? But when we work on our ability to influence and to affect change around us, that driving force has no limit. That driving force have no confusion. Because it was very clear. I just came to the party because I wanted to share love with everybody. Someone didn't give me attention. And I get confused. Why? No. I have to connect to why I do what I do. And if it's coming from a limited aspect of this world, confusion, doubts, and limitation. That's it. Very clear. When you're thinking about influence and changes around us and open the gate for so many people, there's no confusion there. Only confusion gives you blessings. The other way around, right? What do I need to be busy all day long? Connect. I want to be busy with love people. Awaken love to others. Because that's our force. Awaken, as I said before, being busy with love others. Right? Being busy with our passion to connect others. Right? How can I share my gift? How can I gift my gift? How can I give my gifts away today? Who else? Where else can I share my gifts today? That's what I want to be busy today. No, there's not me today. Where can I share today? That's my driving force. But I don't have where. Start to open that. Start to work on it. Start to desire it. And slowly there are no confusion. I know exactly what I need to do today. I know exactly where. Again, no day is like the other. But there are certain rules and guidelines that I live by that allow me to see, I see this is an issue here. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do this. I shouldn't say that. Already telling you. It's showing you. There's no confusion there. Right? But the first step, go back, is to activate the force of delay. Put everything in incubator. Let it grow. Let it be developed. let it rethink. And sure enough, it gives you more information. There's a beautiful protection that's available this week. But these forces have that unique ability to bring those blessings, to bring that protection to your life. So hopefully we'll have a chance to share with you more. But as of now, for this week, we have a beautiful understanding. I want to send you with a lot of blessings, and wake up in the morning and just look, where can I influence more, that or each one of us will connect to those universal laws, and as a whole, as a world, we're going to see a complete change in an unlimited way. Thank you for joining, and please share this wisdom with a friend. Pay it forward, as we call it. Thank you.